Hi guys, my name is Karina and welcome to my Amazon FBA channel. Today's video topic is going to be how to not get scammed by suppliers on Alibaba or whatever other site you're using. I kind of wanted to go on here and tell you guys some of the extra measures you can take. They're very simple, but they will prevent you from getting scammed and just to have that extra like security blanket when you're dealing with suppliers. So usually how it works is you would contact suppliers on Alibaba, which has hundreds of them for different types of products, and the first thing you do, I made a video more in depth about this, is if you look that they have trade assurance and that they're gold supplier. So trade assurance is a form of payment, and basically it gives you a security. So if something goes wrong, the site Alibaba will reimburse you. It's there to protect you, the customer, and the supplier, I guess, as well, from both parties, because Alibaba, I guess, is like a neutral middleman that connects us to the suppliers, and then it wants to give that assurance to us so we do business. And then gold supplier basically means that they pay a fee to have the badge. It doesn't seem like a lot, but people who are committed to it will pay the fee and they will be in business for several years, so you know it's a good factory. I have a video about this. I'll link it down below so you guys can watch more about suppliers and how to find the best good quality supplier. But this is more so, I didn't really touch on this in detail in the other video, so I'm making this one to kind of talk more about the ways you can actually protect yourself financially, not so much finding the best supplier. But so how it works usually with payments is you would place an order, they would send you a pro forma invoice which will give you all the costs, so the product cost, the packaging cost, the shipping cost, whichever shipping you decide on. And factories do differently, but the most common way is to have a 30% payment initially before the start of production, and then a 70% payment afterwards. So this is how I did most of mine. There has been some cases where I paid it in full because it was a small MOQ and a relatively inexpensive product, and the supplier looked legit, and I just didn't really want to look for another one because everything fit into the perfect standards of this one, so I just paid in full. But it was through trade assurance, so I was secure as well. But so anyways, people do differently, but usually, and what I suggest you do is to pay the 30%. Now 30% is for them to start the production, to make sure you don't just run away and that you don't place an order and then you never claim the order, and then they just wasted all this inventory and time and resources making these products and units for nobody, right? So you pay that 30%, and then the 70% is paid usually prior to shipping. So when production is complete, if you choose to have an inspection done, everything looks good, then you pay the 70% deposit, or the 70% rest of the fee, and it ships out. So you can choose to have an inspection, in which case a factory or a third party you choose will go in and inspect the products, and if they don't meet the requirements, you can actually choose not to pay the 70%. Now you will lose the 30% deposit you made because you made that deposit, they produced the goods. But look at it from a perspective that is still better, because if it's a really bad product and you spend 100% of the money getting into Amazon and it doesn't sell because it's not up to your standards, or it's not long-term because you're getting bad reviews, it's not worth it. So it's best to, you know, sometimes even walk away or fight it through Alibaba, and hence that's why you pay through trade assurance. But trade assurance is a really great payment mode, so that goes directly through the system. What I would try to go for first is using PayPal. So PayPal is great because, again, you have that layer of protection. You have access to your funds, you send them over whatever you want. PayPal does take a 4.5% fee of the total sum of the money you're sending. However, it's worth it, especially if it's a brand new supplier and you're dealing with them. You don't know anything about them, you don't know if they're gonna have good production. I would definitely pay that 4.5%. The second step is, besides PayPal, so PayPal has a lot of clauses in the terms and agreements, and no one ever reads them, and sometimes you can even still get away with losing your money if they do scam you. So what I suggest doing is actually paying through your credit card through PayPal. And in the US especially, the banks are so secure and they're so favorable of the customer that if it's a scam, you can literally just go to your bank and they will probably 99%, don't quote me on this, but give your money back. Like, just banks in the US, especially if something seems fishy, they're super protective of their customers and their users. So you have that extra layer of protection when it comes to your payments. So I really recommend doing the PayPal through credit card transaction. And then the second way, some suppliers don't accept that. I had some people, actually some suppliers, say we only do trade assurance. In that case, I'm completely fine with it as well, just because I know I have that security blanket. I pay through my credit card, so again, I have that security as well. And then I know that if something goes wrong, I only paid 30% and I have the trade assurance situation on my side as well. So I would pay through trade assurance. I just prefer PayPal just because it's simple, but to be honest, it's pretty much the same thing. If they take trade assurance, don't be hesitant, just pay the trade assurance. It's not a big deal. They also take a fee, but it's a relatively small fee compared to your whole price that you're paying. Now, the one thing I say not to do whatsoever if it's a first-time supplier is a wire transfer. That is pretty much as sketchy as you can go. It doesn't give you that like peace of mind. For the first time purchase, I would not do a wire transfer. If later down the road you scale your business and you have suppliers that you trust and you want to avoid the fees and you're placing larger orders, and 4.5% of an order is can actually add up and become really large, you can actually start sending wire transfers. I have no problem with wire transfers if you 100% with certainty trust the supplier, and if they have a track record of being very helpful and very on time, not just fulfilling your order correctly. All of that criteria is met. But I believe that you have to have that done several times, and then you trust them enough to send a wire transfer. And then eventually that's going to be better for you because you save money on fees and payments. But just seriously, guys, before you take that step of not using that security blanket through your credit card or through PayPal or trade assurance, make sure that you really trust the supplier if you want to do a wire transfer. Like I said, I don't recommend it as something to do for the first time. I'm totally against it because the chances of your money not coming back to you, I don't know how high they are. I'm not sure how trustworthy all the suppliers are. I just know that I picked the good ones, the ones I work with, but I have heard stories of people not having success. So if you can take that precaution, I completely would. And then in the long term, then you can switch over to wire transfers. But those are seriously steps you guys should take to make sure that you're protected, especially when you're first starting out. And it doesn't hurt. It's super easy. You're most likely going to be paying through your credit card already, so I just recommend doing that. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I hope that this was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like with this video, follow me on Instagram. We'll see you all in my next video.